Alright, welcome to another Shinobi collection video. And for this video, let's do something very interesting. Let's create a custom character, but with a twist. This character is gonna be made up 100% by random number generator. Maybe except for like some stats, I'll probably put a generic one that makes sense. But everything that's important is gonna be made up by a random number generator or a wheel. So with that, let's start with our first wheel. What type of unit is gonna be? I don't want to include Kizuna or Kizuna or Enbu yet because those are two characters. I don't want to be making two infographic on the first episode because that might take a while. Who knows how long that will be? And I don't really want to do a formation, so let's just do a God or GK. So we'll be making a GK. Not bad. And the GK, let's remove this wheel. Here's all the characters. So we're gonna be making a GK Sasuke. Alright, shoutouts to all the Sasuke fans. So, let's hide the wheel. Let's go quickly. Actually, no, let's just write it down so we don't forget. Because I might forget. So, this is going to be Sasuke Uchiha. This is going to be a GK. And let's casually look for, I guess, a blazing art. Now, what type of Sasuke do we want to make? I just want to do a blazing art because it's nice and quick and it's there instead of finding something that's more complicated. Let's do this one. Actually, this one is actually nice. I didn't really play blazing much except in the beginning, and this character was pretty fun, and that is small, so that we gotta find a bigger version of it. How do we find a bigger version? The U big. I think that's fine, hopefully. That was weird. There you go. Okay, so we'll use this. This was the I think the raid Sasuke that had infinite dodge, so we'll use a PTS Sasuke. So after that, let's figure out what type of damage this character is gonna do. So let's bring back the wheel. Is it gonna be a single target or AoE? It's gonna be a single target. So that's rough. It's probably gonna be the Black Chidori. And then let's bring back what type of damage that single target is gonna be. That's gonna be an attack damage character. I've done this test multiple times and I've landed on attack damage every single time. So with that, let's bring up the random number generator. Let's do between 80 times and 150 times attack damage character. He's 136, so let's round that up. So it deals 140 times attack damage to a target enemy. And then keeping that random generator up is do between 40 and 100. He ignores 95% defense, so we'll do that. We'll change that to about ignoring 100% defense. So how does that work in today's PvP? Well, that's, to be honest, that doesn't do a lot. That does so little because everyone's defense is in like the 2 million. He's gonna need a really high attack stat, and maybe we can help him out with that. So bringing back the wheel. Is he what type of status effect does he deal? He deals one. So that's a confirmed status effect. So with that, we're gonna bring out our trusty random number generator again. Let's go hide this. And let's go between 1 to 5 status effects. This would be nice. He's inflicting 3 status effects, so which means we're having 3 rolls for this status effect. So, roll number 1. If it lands on the same thing twice, I'm gonna count that as 1. It inflicts stun. Oh, there's one thing I gotta do first. So I'm gonna do this other stuff first. So, inflicts stun. There's one of them. Roll again. Inflicts poison. I don't know how you're gonna inflict poison, but he inflicts poison. And then the final roll for the status effect. And poison. So he a Sasuke that inflicts stuns and poison. I don't know what kind of Sasuke does that, but I guess he does. The one thing that I forgot to add is something very important to Shinobi collection meta. Does it ignore resistance or not? So let's go roll that. It doesn't ignore resistance. So that's unfortunate. And the next part is the chance of it. What's the chance of him inflicting these? Low chance. Alright. So he's a single target attack damage character with a low chance to inflict stun and poison. This is very perfect because it's a Sasuke, and Sasuke in this game likes to be shafted a lot. So the next part of this is, does he debuff? Let's see. He does not debuff. Is this S1 buff? We'll see. It does not buff. Let's see, what else is there? Okay, does it cleanse? So does it cleanse your buffs? It doesn't cleanse your buff. Does it dispel enemy buffs or states? It doesn't. This is the worst character in the game, I swear. So now we're gonna go back to the random number generator after all of those ugly. This is the additional attacks. In my opinion, the average additional attack is 7. 10 is really solid. So we're gonna do between 1 to 10. You don't see anyone with like built-in 21, like 21, like Kizuna Itachi. But even if they do, I'm gonna have to lower their damage. So he's gonna deal 4 additional attacks. Jesus Christ, this character's awful. Deal 4 additional attacks. Now we go back to the wheel. What type of damage does this additional attack do? Where is this? And the way additional attacks works is it doesn't matter. It targets. If it's single target, there's no way it's gonna. Actually, no, there is a way. So it does attack damage. That does attack damage. So we're gonna So the reason why I'm gonna do it is AOE or single target, because characters like, actually no, it's only one character, so it's an AOE additional attack. Someone does this is also a CM2 Sasuke, funny enough. So it's kind of interesting that we're doing this. So deal 4 additional attacks, and then we'll do also 80 to 150. So let's bring. Oh, I don't know if you saw that, but it rolled an AOE. It rolled 4 additional attacks in AOE. So we're gonna bring this back. His additional attacks deals 120 times. Let's see, additional attacks dealing 120 times attack damage. Doing the exact same thing as we did before. How much defense does it ignore? So 40 to 100. Ignores 40% defense. Jesus Christ. This character is awful. And one thing that I want to actually do is we're going to minimize this in the random number generator. Random. We're going to do this part. Let's roll this. Okay, good. Dealing 4 additional attacks. This is to all enemies and not random enemies. The reason why that's important, so he doesn't get shafted. And I think that's it for the skill 1. I hit that wrong thing by accident. So let's go to the skill 1. So his skill 1 inflicts a status effect. It doesn't debuff. It doesn't buff. Oh, one thing I forgot. This is actually important, because this might be really, really bad for Sasuke. Is it a conditional additional attack? Okay, it's not conditional. He dodged the bullet there. So we're done with the skill 1. This is his skill 1. This is his very, very bad skill 1. And what I like to do is I like to color it. I like to make the attack, anything that goes towards the enemy, I make it red. So stun, like a debuff, I turn that into red, so it's nice to see. Anything for you, I make it green. And anything healing wise, I make it blue. Put that over there. And then, just to be nice, I'm gonna make everything always hit, because that's what they are anyway. And then let's just put a little bit of drop shadow in here, make it look nice. There you go. So this custom character's S1. It deals 140 times attack damage to a target enemy, ignoring 100% defense. Low chance to inflict stun and poison. Deals 4 additional attacks, dealing 120 times attack damage, ignoring 40% defense to all enemies. In my opinion, this skill is garbage. Just kind of like every Sasuke in this game, sadly. This one is already getting shafted. Doesn't even buff, doesn't even debuff. So with that, let's move on to his skill 2. For this one, I'm gonna roll this effect multiple times. Just because I think it makes sense. Because skill 2 is usually like that. So it skips. Actually, no, before that, so let's keep that part. So it's now, is that AoE or single target? Let's. That's kind of important. What kind of skip are we talking about here? An AoE skip. Perfect. Okay, we're getting there. And then let's put all these back. And let's start typing. Inflict skips. All enemies. That's already better than before. I'm gonna roll this 5 times. That's the first roll. Second roll is it cleanse. Awesome. Remove negative, special, and God state. And the thing with that is we're gonna need another wheel for that. Self and a party wheel. So who does he cleanse it to? Cleanse it to the party. Nice. To all allies. We are getting there. We're getting better. Then another roll. It skips again. So now we wasted a roll. He skips twice. Now we have 2 more roll to go. It revives all allies. Let's do the other roll that we did before. Random and all. Because this could be a game breaker. Nice. Revive all dead allies. That sounds OP, but to be honest, in reality, in PvP, that doesn't mean much. And our final spin, it dispels. Okay. Now, the other part for this, 1, all. Very important. 1. Okay. And then remove positive, special, and God state to a target enemy. So one thing we gotta do now is every S2 has this. Is it an attack? Is it a heal? Is it a buff? Or is it a debuff? We need this part of it. And it's a buff. So we'll just do some generic buffs. So after that, we're gonna do it's a attack, defense, speed, skill, damage. We're gonna roll this 3 times. Because if we get 3 different times, then it's nice. So it's an attack buff, a skill damage buff, and then our final spin. It's a speed buff. That's perfect actually. So that's all the numbers that we want. We're gonna hide the wheel really quick. Actually no, put it back up. Self, party. This is kind of important. It's party buff. Nice. So attack, speed, and skill damage plus X% all allies. We don't know how much that is yet, because we're gonna put back our random number generator here. We're gonna do between 100% and 500%. We're gonna round to the nearest 100. It's a 400% buff. That's not a bad buff. Also 400% buff to party. But his S1 sucks, so I don't know how you would use him. And now the important part. We're gonna bring back the wheel. What type of... Does he debuff? When I mean debuff, I mean status effect. He does not inflict a status effect. Oh please, he has to buff. Please make me make a buff. Please, make him buff. He doesn't buff. Oh my god. What do I do with this character? This character doesn't do a special state. You know what? I'm making a call here. I'm putting a call here. I'm making a buff or debuff. He's gonna do one of these. He's gonna debuff. Okay. We have to make him debuff because This I can't make a character without a debuff. So there's a debuff, so is it all or one? What type of debuff are we? Against a target. Great. Inflicts. What kind of buff do you, what do we even call this buff? What would the CM2 Sasuke buff be called? Interesting is, you know what? I'm just gonna call it Black Shinobi. What target enemy? Now the other part is, what type of buff is it or debuff is it? So this is a GK Sasuke. There's only two type of buff this GK Sasuke can do. It's a special state or a unique state. It's a unique state. Let's go. Okay. Now we're something. Now we're hitting it. Okay. And then let's just make it always hit. Okay, now we're reaching the fun territory. So this skill 2 is a little bit big. So let's just do all of these. Make this red. Make Black Chidori red. Make this. So this skill 2 is attack, speed, and skill damage plus 400% to all allies. Inflicts skip to all enemies. Remove negative special and God state to all allies. Remove positive special and God state to a target enemy. Inflicts the Black Chidori unique state to a target enemy. And it revives all dead allies. If you ask me, that's not a bad skill too, but it depends on what his lead is. So for lead, I'm gonna bring back the wheel. So in this wheel that's still up, we're gonna turn it into a giant wheel. And we're gonna spin this 3 times. So the first part is a terrain removal. Remove. Thing that is, instead of removing it, we're gonna make it like Kaguya. Gonna disable enemy terrain at the start of battle, or like prevent deployment. That's really important. That means your terrain is gonna be up. The next is the Trust and EXP booster. Trust and EXP plus. We're gonna spin a random number generator for that later. And then the last part is withstand. Plus X% and characters withstand plus. Okay. So now we're gonna hide the wheel. We're gonna go back to the random number generator. The first thing we need is percent of trust and EXP. I want to do between 75 and 125. He does 120. That's not bad. Now, character withstand. We're gonna do between 1 to 5. He gives everyone 1 withstand. Now, we're gonna go back to the wheel. For this wheel, we're gonna delete this. Just gonna do. We're gonna bring back the conditional or not conditional. So who does he do this for? It's no conditional, so all characters. And let's just make this smaller, probably 35. No, probably 40. Now ability 1. We're gonna bring back the exact same wheel from before. We're gonna roll 3 or 5 times. I'm not sure yet. Chakra, I spelled that wrong. Okay. Percent per turn. Roll this again. Withstand. Okay. I guess that's part of his kit. Plus X. Roll it again. Remove state. So that is yourself or party. Don't know yet. And then get special and God state. And then let's do 4, but there's one thing I have to add. Cover percent HP on death. That will make his withstand a revive if we landed on it. We already landed on chakra regen. I don't know why I have a W there. Let's just take it. Looks ugly. There you go. We already landed in that, so let's do another one. Let's just do 5. Make it nice. We can remove that because we don't need that. Because that's from his lead. Let's do one more roll. Instant action. Perfect. So this is pretty much a normal character, but with a withstand instead of 5 revives. So, and then just your basic grant instant action attack. Okay, we're gonna go back to our random number generator. Chakra regen. We're gonna do between 10, 50, 22%. So 20% chakra regen per turn. Withstand. Let's go between 1 and 10. How many withstand does Sasuke have? 1. 1 withstand. That's yikes. Character is awful. Random number generator is not helping us out today. End the wheel. Oh, I have to do another one for that. It's 1 attack. So, yeah, we are not doing really good for this character. Well, hopefully the state makes it up. So now we're gonna re-roll again, but this time it's for, oh, you can see there, it's spinning. Conditional damage cut. So he has a damage cut plus X% against X. We'll roll that X later. Then another roll. Remove enemy terrain. Nice. Destroy enemy terrain. I think we're gonna do this per turn, just like GK, just like the new Kaguya. So he's kind of useful. That's on skip. Means inflicts skip to X enemies when attacked. We got 2 more rolls. If I hit revive, I'm gonna change his withstand to revive. Counter attack. When attacked, inflicts Black Chidori. Will be nice and have him inflict Black Chidori. And then let's do one more spin. See what we get. A speed buff. That's actually something that we're gonna need. So we're gonna make that what the average speed buff of characters in 2020. Speed plus 1000%, and you can't see that because it's big. So let's make this about 35. No. So now we're gonna roll damage cut against character, affiliation, type, color, clan. Not clan. Clan doesn't make sense for him. Let's just do this. If it's character, I'm automatically putting Naruto. If it's type, okay, if it's type, we're gonna do, oh, so now if it's type, I'm just gonna make it God. There's no point of making it. So against gods, then is that it? Yeah. Actually, no, one more. It's gonna be all or one. This is for the skip. Be all enemies. Nice. So his ability too is kind of nuts, but we gotta see what the Black Chidori is. That's gonna be the next part. So we're gonna hide this. We're gonna open up this random number generator, and the damage cut I'm gonna do between 50 to 95. 60% damage cut against gods. He doesn't have damage limit, but who knows? He might get it on his. Let's know he's not gonna get it at all. He doesn't buff. And ability 3. I didn't do his types. So let's just do his types real quick. Let's bring it back. So red, blue, yellow, white. Those are the types in the Shinobi collection. So he is a white type. Therefore, this is type advantage and damage cut plus 50% against reptiles. Okay, now for the big part. This is the part we're excited about. And I'm gonna move my wheel over here. Probably the random number generator too. And let's zoom in a bit. So let's make this white. This is the unique state. Start with 35 font. It's probably fine. It's 385. There you go. Black Chidori, which is a negative special state or negative unique state. So I'm gonna bring up all the stuff that's debuffing, and I'm gonna roll this 5 times. Roll number 1. The first part of this, it inflicts frenzy. You don't know what frenzy is. Attack, crit chance, crit damage, plus X%. It's just gonna make it 3000%. I don't really care about that. Let's see. Buff, debuff, status effect, negative special, and god state can't be. Let's see. Disable it. So already this character is the best. Already this character is literally insane. His S1 don't matter. This character is the best character in the game. This character is the best debuffer in the game. Character's better than, what do you even call it? It's better than Madara. Even though he doesn't even have an S1. And then basic attack for random allies. Inflict Black Chidori. The ally when attacking. Let's see. Actually, no, that's a weird wording. Basic attack a random ally and inflict the black. That's frenzy. So we have a frenzy unique state. I have a befuddle and I have frenzy. So the difference between the two is befuddle doesn't spread, frenzy spreads. The next part is disables illusion. Oh, that's inflicts illusion. Jesus Christ. That's kind of counter interactive, but it doesn't matter. Inflicts illusion. Let's just do 2 turns. That effect doesn't matter, but it's there. And then the next part, action disable. Okay, this went from being the best state to something that doesn't work. Huh? How do you inflict before? How do you have frenzy but you HP sapped? Okay, that's OP. HP minus 30. But let's do 30%. I might call it an audible for inflicts illusion and disable. That's limit. Okay, that's just a speed limit. Let's see, speed to 1,000. Actually, no, I'm gonna re-roll illusion and action disable because that doesn't make any sense. Chakra cost up. Okay, let's just do plus 50. And then how many roll? 1, 2, 3, 4. One more roll. I rolled frenzy again, so we're keeping it. Yeah, this character is insane. What happened? How did we go from something that's unusable to something that's really, really broken? This character is the best character in the game. See how fast that went? We went from god-awful to just the best character in the game. And we're gonna do the stats next. Alright, so we are done with the wheel. This is our kit. Now we're gonna make our stats. So for HP, I wanna say 260,000 is good minimum. And the maximum HP right now is probably around 410,000. So his base HP is actually, let's zoom in. And you can't see because of this, so let's move here. His base HP is 484,973. No, 384. Not 4. 4 is a little too high. And for attack, the highest attack is about 360,000, and the average is probably around 200,000. So let's do 200,000, 360,000. The attack is 267,069. So from what we can tell here, his damage is very bad, but it doesn't matter. His damage doesn't matter. For defense, we're gonna do like 120,000, and then the highest is probably 215. So he has 134,200 defense. For speed, the maximum is about 480. Minimum is probably about 440. So his speed is 497. That's his base stat. And with that, I have a calculator that I can't actually I can show you here. That I can show you nice and okay. So his base HP is 384,973, 267,069, 134,200, and 497. So he has a 400% attack, speed, and skill damage buff. He has a 1000% speed buff. This is the meat gear, which is 113% skill damage and speed. This is the handprint gear, which is 100%. This is your metal. Since he's a Konoha, this is the Konoha 2 metal, so it's 120 skill damage and 350 speed. And then normal skill damage, 150% gear that let's say he had, and also another 150% HP attack and defense gear. So that would put his stats to 23515,228. That's his PvP HP. His attack is 3632,559, 1053,300, and he has 11,768 speed. And his skill damage is about 1,038%. So stat wise, not bad at all. Put it over there. So that's his stats. He's a Konoha. And now we're gonna go down to his attack. His attack is actually gonna be very interesting because we're gonna be using this also. We're gonna scroll down over here. It's not an AoE, so we're not gonna put a mark in there. Scaling is 140. Skill damage is 0, and this is also 0. This is 4. The scaling is 140,000. So how I'm gonna do that is 140 plus 2 zeros. And then this is also 120 and 2 zeros. So that's how much damage she will be doing. Quite a bit. And does 4 additional attacks. And this is not showing up here, but that's easy to do. This is only 1. So here we go. His minimum damage with no LP is 4,504,372,000,540. Oh no, 4,504,372,540. Max damage with max LP is 18,049,490,160. Number is gigantic. And something that's nice and easy, for damage limit, he does 5 additional attacks. I don't know why this is saying that, because this should be 5. That's showing 10. This should be 0. That was my B. So this number is actually lower because I'm making it seems like he's multicasting it once. So we're just gonna cut it in half actually, which is not bad. His damage is not that high. It's single target, but it's whatever. You don't care. The way this character was looking like it was being created, it's not a DPS. And then minimum damage is 3.5 million, and then his max LP is 6.3. Just make it red. I make this red. I'm missing a zero here. And that's it. That's our character that we created. Now we can hide all of these math stuff. So let's go over this character. So it's a GK Sasuke. Let's give it a title. GK Sasuke Final Valley. His S1's probably Black Shidori. I'm not even bothered about that. So his S1 deals 140,000 attack damage to a target enemy. You ignore 100% defense. Low chance to inflict stun and poison. I don't know where the poison comes from, but RNG gave us poison. He deals 4 additional attacks, dealing 120 times attack damage, ignoring 40% defense to all character. My opinion, that sucks. Moving on. Skill 2, attack speed and skill damage plus 400% to all allies, inflict skips to all enemies, remove negative special and god state to all allies, remove positive special and god state to a target enemy, inflicts the Black Chidori unique state to a target enemy, revive all dead allies. His lead, prevent deployment enemy terrain for 1 turn at the start of battle, Thrust and EXP plus 120%, and all character withstand plus 1. Ability 1, chakra region plus 20% per turn, withstand plus 1. Remove negative special and god state when attack. Grant instant action when attack. Ability 2, deal damage cut plus 60% against gods. Destroy enemy terrain per turn. Inflict skip to all enemies when attack. When attack, inflicts Black Chidori unique state, and then speed plus 1000%. He has a black type specialization because he's a white type. His unique state, the Black Chidori, it's a frenzy. So you buff their stats, disable them from buffing, and then basic attack a random ally and inflicts the Black Chidori unique state. HP minus 30% per turn. Speed limit set to 1000 and chakra cost plus 50%. And one thing I want to do before we end this, we're gonna go back to the random number generator, and we're gonna do between 4 and 16 turns. We're gonna do 4 and 16 turns. We're gonna roll it 7 turns, so we're gonna do, that's in normal, that's 6 turns. So Black Chidori lasts for 6 turns. So how does this character work? He's very squishy, but as soon as one person gets inflicted by Black Chidori, the fight is over. At 6 turns, you're gonna inflict everyone on your team. Sad part is you limit their speed, but other than that, this character is broken. So this is the first character that we made pure RNG. Some numbers were not, but you know, sometimes you just gotta give him some, or like something that matches the meta. With that, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.